Welcome back, fellow human beings. Today I'm going to be doing some unpopular rap slash hip hop opinions. So I'm going to say them, and then I'll give a quick little explanation on why I think I'm right. If you disagree with me, leave it in the comments below. Let's just have a discussion, Let's be civil, and yeah, let's get into it.
X is better than Juice WRLD.
I think X is way better than Juice WRLD because although X didn't reach his potential and didn't reach his peak before he died, I think X had a lot more potential and he had a lot more sounds to experiment with. He did rock, he did like that screamo music, he had like emo rap, he had like lyrical rap. He was very versatile. And while Juice WRLD is a good artist, I'll give him credit for that. He is lyrically, I feel like he's a little lyrically stunted, and maybe he could have proved us wrong. But from the time that he was here and from the music that I've been hearing as of late, it's just kind of the same thing over and over again, which is why I think X was a better artist.
Kanye West has the greatest discography of all time.
Kanye has the best discography. It's easy to say. Like, come on. He has no bad albums. He has one okay album, which is Jesus is King. And everything else, he's just a master of his craft.
Lil Baby and Polo G are both extremely boring and generic.
They both have different reasons why I think they're generic. Lil Baby is, his voice is kind of stunted. He doesn't really experiment with his voice enough. And Polo G, while he has a good voice and he can do some melodies and like lyrical rap, his production is very stunted, which is why I think Lil Baby, I don't think he can change his voice. But I think Polo G, if he changes up his production and he doesn't only go for the piano guitar beats, then I think Polo G can get out of that category. But for now, I think he's just too stunted in that category to be interesting.
Trippie Redd is overhated and his influence is greatly overlooked.
Trippie Redd is overhated, or was overhated. For all Trippie Redd fans, we all know Mr. Rage. Before Mr. Rage, before he previewed that snippet, and after Pegasus and before Mr. Rage, that was like a few months of like darkness. Because he was getting like really hated on for Pegasus, which wasn't even a bad album. It was just very bloated. And yeah, but after Mr. Rage came, people love that Rage sound. And I feel like his influence in that genre is overlooked because ever since Mr. Rage was sort of like previewed, even though Sofego did release Off the Map before, I feel like Trippie Redd really put a lot of these SoundCloud rappers on it, like Ken Carson notably.
Travis Scott is a better businessman than he is a rapper.
Travis Scott is a better businessman than a rapper. He's a good rapper, but he's a great businessman. Just look at all his collabs. He has collabs with McDonald's. He has like a Sharpie collab. He has a clothing line. He has a collab with he had a collab with Fortnite. He has a collab with Nike sneakers. I feel like Travis Scott has outgrown his music, and he's good at rapping, but at this point you can't deny that his collabs and all these things that he's doing as a businessman, it's making him probably a lot more money than his music is. That's why I think after Utopia, his next project, I personally think he's going to retire.
Lil Uzi Vert is overrated and has been on a steady decline since 2017.
Lil Uzi Vert is overrated and he's been on a slow decline since, I'd say, Love Is Rage 2. I don't know what it is, but his 2020 run it didn't hit for me. He released Eternal Atake and then a deluxe, and then he released his collab tape with Future and then the deluxe for that. And I feel like they were decent, but they weren't where they needed to be. And I feel like he can prove us wrong with the Pink Tape and Forever Young. But from the snippets I've seen, it's not looking great.
The new generation of SoundCloud rappers, Sofego, SSG Kobe, Ken Carson, is objectively better than the old era. X, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, Smoke Perp.
The new SoundCloud generation is objectively better than the old SoundCloud era. And this is why. It's a very unpopular opinion. But I'm not talking about the artists as like separately. I'm not saying, oh, Sofego is better than X. I'm saying the new era is better than the old era, because this time around, as you guys can remember, there were, in the old era, like 2016 to 2018, there were good and bad parts. There was great artists, but then there was also artists like Lil Pump and like 6ix9ine who were just using antics to get big, and their music wasn't all that great. this time around, I feel like the artists in this generation of the SoundCloud era have learned from the previous mistakes, and they solely focus on music, which I respect. And people in this era are more focused on fuck. Those guys fell off hard. Bro, just listen to his last project. I'm sorry.
Drake makes great songs, yet they get overshadowed by his bloated projects.
I'll cite as a resource for my claim, I'll cite Scorpion, 25 songs and over an hour long. Drake can make gems. I'm not like jumping on the Drake hate train, you know? I know he can make amazing songs, and there's gems in that album. But when you it's just so bloated. Like, people can't find, and it doesn't, it's hard for new listeners to get into a project that's 25 songs because it's a big commitment and it's a lot of time that you're using. He needs to focus and just have a solid 14 to 18 bangers and put that into a project instead of overfilling albums.
Donda will drop this Friday.
Please drop it, Kanye. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for my unpopular opinions. Let me know your unpopular opinions below. And if you disagree with my opinions, honestly, just say it in the comments. And you can try to convince me that my opinion is wrong, but I think I'm right. I've researched this for a couple of hours, and I think I know what I'm talking about. Bye.
Lil Mosey sucks.